Straight ahead on 12 News, it's all downhill from here. Three Rivers Park officials prepare for another ski season near what they say makes the best snow. Then rent or buy. It's not just a housing decision, but also an important one for small businesses. But first,
pay off bills, get two nice running cars, buy a house.
dreaming dollar signs thanks to one of the largest jackpots in U.S. history. 12 News starts right now. Powerball fever brings local players to the stores in droves. And while the odds of winning the $425 million jackpot are astronomical, that hasn't stopped a lot of people from trying their luck.
It's the largest jackpot in the game's history. And as Delane Cleveland reports, dreams of winning big have caused quite the rush at the register.
I'm going to get 4 Powerball.
The customer service counter at Cub Foods is generally a busy place.
Thank you, sir.
But give people a chance to win $425 million.
It'd be nice.
And busy takes on a whole new meaning.
Our volume on Powerballs has almost doubled. We've had to add extra staff to accommodate the demand today.
570.58.
Meet Maria Ratunotes, the extra staff to which he's referring to.
Saturday, we sold like $3,500 worth of Powerball tickets.
On a normal day with a more modest jackpot, she says they usually sell about 700 tickets. But there's nothing modest about Wednesday's potential grand prize.
1 Powerball for you?
And everyone has dreams of what they'd do if they were $425 million richer.
Pay off bills, get 2 nice running cars, buy a house.
Probably a trip. Maybe the Caribbean.
Grand ideas to be sure, but according to lottery expert Dennis Kelly, they'd better keep dreaming.
It really is not a state-by-state opportunity. There are 30 states involved with the Powerball. Odds are 175 million to 1.
Kelly has managed sweepstakes and contests for major corporations, and he's used his expertise to write a fictitious book on the lottery called Blizzard Ball, about people interested in purchasing a ticket for the world's biggest jackpot.
The ticket goes missing, there's murder, mayhem associated with prizes of that caliber.
Whether fiction becomes reality in the real world of Powerball remains to be seen.
Good luck to you, dear.
But here at Cub Foods, people are simply hoping for the best.
So I can't complain if I don't try. I could use the money.
Managers at Cub Foods say Powerball fever really begins to take effect once the jackpot reaches $200 million. And meantime, Mike and Alex, if somebody wins the grand prize, the actual take-home after taxes is $278 million. But I have my winning ticket right here, so you guys at home don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people at home that would argue with you.
Thanks, Delane. Robbinsdale police have come up with a new way to address a pet problem, and it's looking next door in Golden Valley for the solution. The Robbinsdale City Council has approved an agreement to use Golden Valley's impound facility for stray animals. Robbinsdale police previously used a pet clinic in North Minneapolis, but Robbinsdale had to look for a new facility because the old one no longer had the space. The new agreement is expected to provide cost savings for Robbinsdale, and the agreement with Golden Valley is a 1-year trial run.
Fresh off winning an election, local Senator Terry Bonoff will soon fill a key role on higher education. Bonoff will chair the Higher Education and Workforce Development Finance Division. The committee oversees policy and funding decisions for state colleges and universities. The 2013 legislative session convenes on January 8th.
A long-awaited daycare program in Brooklyn Center is designed to help young parents finish high school. It's called Baby Steps, and it's been in the works for 2 years. But now the brand new classrooms are set to open for as many as 40 children. It offers on-site childcare for teenage parents. The program's coordinator says young parents tell her they need this kind of help in order to finish high school.
Do you think that you would have gone back to school if our program wouldn't have been here? And a lot of them said, no, I don't think I would have. And if I did go back to school, it probably would have been a lot later. So I think that we're providing that support so that they can really just jump back into things.
The center comes complete with medical and dental care for the kids. Part of the curriculum includes instruction for young parents on how to teach their children. A grant from the Otto Bremer Foundation helped pay for the center. Saving a life could be as easy as using a refrigerator magnet.
Plymouth police are making it easier to get a simple tool that provides life-saving information for emergency responders. It's called the File of Life, and it's as simple as putting information about your medical history, allergies, and emergency contacts on your refrigerator. It can tell paramedics about your situation when you can't. Police are pushing the idea now because they've run into some recent problems.
We had some situations recently in Plymouth where medical responders went to an elderly couple's home, and it was the caretaker that needed the medical emergency. The spouse with some form of dementia was left behind and couldn't provide information as to who should care for them while their spouse is at the hospital.
The emergency responders are trained to look for the information. You can get a File of Life card for free in the lobby of the Plymouth Police Department, which is right next door to City Hall on Plymouth Boulevard. While you might not be ready for snow, the Three Rivers Park District says bring it on.
Elm Creek Park Reserve already has a good layer of it, and Renee Bonoff finds out when it'll be ready for skis and sleds.
While most of the Northwest Metro saw clear skies Monday, the forecast at Elm Creek Park Reserve called for snow all day.
Yeah, our crew runs 24/7 once we fire up with snowmaking.
The most recent cold snap that started Friday allowed the Three Rivers Park District to fire up these snow-making fan guns and sticks, and they haven't stopped since.
Typically we need 17 days of below freezing, below like 25 degrees, 24/7, and that's about how long it takes to make the snow here to open the whole area up.
Three Rivers can pump out more than 1 million gallons of water a day to make snow. But when the weather's warm, the flakes won't form, and it's not worth it to keep the machines running.
You know, we have to shut all the snow guns down, drain all the hoses, get everything drained out and then repositioned. Versus if it's just cold, we can just keep moving and keep everything running.
Three Rivers first started making snow a few weeks ago when the temperature plunged, but 50 and 60-degree days since then forced workers to shut the machines down. This time, crews are hoping for a longer cold stretch.
If the weather keeps up like it is and it stays cold, we'd like to have a portion of our cross-country ski trails open this weekend. It'll probably be about 1/2 of the 2.5K. So it's about 1 mile of ski trails open.
After that, crews can start working on the terrain park and lesson hills. Park officials aren't quite sure when they'll be able to open the Tube Hill and some of those other spots, but the plan is to have everything ready by winter break. At Elm Creek Park Reserve, Renee Bonoff, 12 News.
And listen to this, crews say they actually prefer man-made snow to natural snow because it's easier to groom and it lasts longer. Whew.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Considering just last week we were playing golf in shorts, weren't we?
Exactly.
Okay,
60-degree weather to this. Still ahead, a Brooklyn Park business owner's big decision. Should he rent or should he own?
Then later in sports, Totino Gray scores another championship in prep football. We'll have the highlights.
But first, a post-Thanksgiving thaw in your AccuWeather forecast. Temperatures could approach 50 degrees by Saturday.
To buy or rent? That's the question, not only in the housing market, but also in the business world.
Many small businesses lease the building where they operate, but there are advantages to ownership, as we found out in this week's Business Matters.
Let's see here. Here is a piece for a local company that we print.
In less than 3 decades, Gary Garner has grown his printing company.
This is a catalog, an idea book for them, fall and winter 2011.
From a small shop of 6 people to a multi-million-dollar print, marketing, and direct mail operation with more than 300 employees.
We mail between 400,000 and 700,000 pieces of mail a day.
And you don't do that without making some pretty smart business moves along the way.
I think the site here, it just kind of brought us into the big leagues.
In 1996, Gary made the decision to build and own the property for his Brooklyn Park business, and he got some help from the city and state through tax increment financing.
Without that program, we would have never been able to build and never been able to do this deal.
Now is probably the best time, certainly generationally, maybe ever, to buy commercial property and just convert your commercial rent payment into a commercial mortgage payment.
Small business advocate and author Chris Hearn says it makes sense for some small businesses to capitalize on low interest rates and take advantage of available loan programs, including a little-known federal one.
It happens to be a government-guaranteed loan program. Borrowers and lenders pay a fee to actually participate in this. I liken it to bringing Wall Street to Main Street. That's really the whole point of this program.
It really made a difference for us to be able to grow our business.
For Gary Garner, the decision to own rather than rent has been a good one, even through the down economy. But that doesn't mean it's an easy decision to make.
We've always plowed everything back into the business and tried to continue to make it grow. And so far it's gotten us to this point, and we're very confident about our future.
This year, Gary Garner's GLS Companies is on track to do $57 million in sales with about 650 customers nationwide. Coming up, a Plymouth teen's crowning achievement.
But first in sports, highlights from the final game of the Channel 12 Turkey Trot Hockey Tournament and an impressive performance for the visiting team. John Jacobson with that and more when we come back. While the rest of us were recovering from a whole lot of turkey over the weekend, John was busy keeping up with some hockey teams of the Turkey Trot Tournament and some pretty good hockey, too.
Yeah, good hockey and a good championship game. One team really showing what they've got early in the season. It's going to be a good Edina club. The boys hockey season started over the weekend for a few local teams. The 11th annual Channel 12 Turkey Trot Tournament featured two Lake Conference rivals playing for the championship Saturday night. Edina and Wayzata, each coming off Friday night season opening wins. Highlights from this one: scoreless in the first period when the Hornets' Connor Hurley scores with a one-timer from the circle, and Edina's up 1-0 after one period. Coach Pat O'Leary's team gets a 5-on-3 power play in the second. Wayzata can't cash in here. Hornets goalie Willie Benjamin stops Chandler Lindstrand, and then Maxwell Zimmer, and it keeps the Trojans off the board. Late in the second period, Dylan Malmquist passes to Tyler Nanny, who scores in the short side for a 3-0 lead. That's the final. The Hornets skate away with their fourth Turkey Trot title and first since 2008. 2011 Turkey Trot champion Maple Grove beating Holy Family in the third place game. Joe Franta's shot from the point is deflected in by sophomore David Brum. Gary Stefano and the Crimson lead at 1-0 after the opening period. But Holy Family comes back on a 5-on-3 power play. Ryan Swanson sneaks the shot through as the Fire ties it up at 1-1. Now watch the pass coming up here from Dylan Wolf, right on the tape of Garrett Riebling. Riebling tucks it away on the breakaway, and Holy Family leads 2-1 after two. Early in the third, John Peterson sends it across to Shane Gersich for the goal, and Holy Family stretches the lead to 3-1. After another Fire goal, Sam Valerius works the give and go with Nate Erickson and tips it home for a Crimson goal. Maple Grove starts the season at 0-2 after falling 5-2 to Holy Family in the third place game. The annual Cake Eater Girls Hockey Tournament in Edina featured a strong field of teams again this year, including the host Edina Hornets, Benilde St. Margaret's, Blake, and defending Class A state champion Breck. Edina's historic Braemar Arena the site as Breck meets Benilde in the championship. Leah Schwartzman with a deflection goal. Breck strikes early. They score 27 seconds into the game. Benilde responds with a great rush by Caitlin Riley. She beats the D and snaps the shot home to make it 2-1 Red Knights. Second period, and Kelly Panic has all day to walk out front from the circle on the BSM power play. Panic buries it for a 3-1 Red Knights lead. In the third, the shot from the point is stopped, but Bailey Forcier tucks the rebound home from alongside the net as Benilde St. Margaret's rolls to the title with a 7-1 win. The high school football season wrapped up Saturday with the last of 7 Prep Bowl championship games. Totino Grace played Owatonna for the Class 5A title. Coach Jeff Ferguson looking for his 7th state championship since 2003. Middle of the first quarter, Eagles quarterback A.J. LaPanta hits a wide-open Lance Bennick for a 32-yard touchdown as the Eagles jump out to an early 7-0 lead. Trailing 14-7, Owatonna's defense comes up big. LaPanta is hit, fumbles. Spencer Sorensen recovers and gets it to the half-yard line. Huskies scored 2 plays later to tie the game at 14. Big play for Totino just before halftime. LaPanta to Charlie Miller. The defensive back falls down, and Miller is gone. It's a 49-yard scoring play, and Totino takes a 21-14 lead into halftime. Third quarter, and those two connect again. LaPanta with a perfect throw. Miller hauls it in. This one covers 65 yards in all. LaPanta with 3 touchdown passes for the day, and Grace leads 28-14. 3 minutes later, the Eagles' ground game goes to work. Kez Flomo with a 43-yard dash for a touchdown, and the route is on. Totino Grace pulls away for a 49-21 victory. Another Prep Bowl championship, thanks in large part to a great third quarter.
We've had some great third quarters this year. And, you know, our kids, they're so coachable and so motivated, and you know, they do whatever we ask them to do, which is very humbling. You know, I mean, and they trust us. I think there's a great trust level between the players, and between the coaches and the players, and this is a group that they flip and know how to compete. I mean, their level of effort on the field, I think, is very difficult to match.
A lot of teams haven't been able to match up with them over the years, and congratulations to those guys, another state title.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Still ahead of Plymouth teens' sparkling accomplishments.
We're back in a moment.
Here's a look ahead to Tuesday's 12 News, why it's back to square one in the search for a superintendent for Brooklyn Center Schools. The school board is expected to take a closer look at the qualifications they're looking for. Plus, another step in rebuilding County Road 81 addresses a dangerous intersection in Brooklyn Park. And in sports, a season preview of the Park Center boys basketball team shooting for big goals this winter. Those stories and much more Tuesday beginning at 4. When she speaks, people listen, and when she leads, people follow.
Those words are heard in the halls of Woodland Elementary about an unassuming assistant school principal. Tony Beckler was named Minnesota's Outstanding Assistant Principal for 2013. Beckler was chosen by a panel of school principals from across the state, and she was singled out for leading efforts to close achievement gaps at Woodland by the year 2015. Beckler says the most important job you have as a leader, and especially as an assistant principal, is to listen. Well, finally, a Plymouth teen sitting on cloud 9.
Maggie McGill was named Miss Minnesota Teen USA for 2013 on Sunday. She will go on to compete at the Miss Teen USA pageant. Maggie is seen here, coming up, with Danielle Hooper of Inver Grove Heights, who is Miss Minnesota for 2013. Contestants are judged on those familiar categories: evening gowns, swimwear, and the interviews. Congratulations to her.
Way to go.
That's right. That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Community Corner is coming up next, and we'll see you back here tomorrow beginning at 4 o'clock.